Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Curious Kingdom. Today we are recapping fantasy horror movie Constantine. In a desert area, a man searches through debris and stumbles upon an ancient spearhead wrapped in a Nazi flag. When he unwraps the flag, an unknown force takes control of him, leaving him devoid of free will. While crossing the road, he is struck by a bus, which crumbles upon impact. Strangely, the man gets up and continues walking as if unaffected by the accident. In John Constantine's reality, heaven and hell are tangible realms existing in parallel dimensions alongside the human world. John works as an exorcist with his apprentice, Chaz, tasked with locating and banishing misbehaving demons from the mortal plane. In Los Angeles, a mother is caring for her sick daughter in a small apartment. Suddenly, the daughter levitates and snarls, causing the mother to collapse in shock. Distraught, the family seeks aid from men of faith to save the possessed girl. John enters the apartment, where Father Hennessy informs him that he has found the entity John has been searching for. Hennessy failed to exorcise the demon and has now sought John's assistance. With the possessed girl tied to her bed, John lets sunlight into the room and employs a talisman to confront the demon. The talisman causes a reaction on the girl's forehead, leading her to convulse and scream. John utters an incantation, and the girl stops shaking, but the demon appears to be on the verge of breaking free from her body. In a rush to perform the exorcism, John requests a mirror from the family. With the mirror held above the girl, John smashes a window and asks Chaz to move a parked car below. Securing the mirror to a pulley above the window, John warns everyone in the room to shield their eyes. Unfortunately, one man glances at the demon and undergoes a terrifying transformation. Undeterred, John uncovers the possessed girl's eyes and manages to trap the demon within the mirror. To pull the demon out of the room, John struggles to fit the mirror through the window. He puts all his strength into it, finally succeeding in moving the mirror out. Upon fall, the mirror breaks, sending the demon back to hell. As John steps out of the room, he notices a sketch drawing of a spearhead, resembling the one found earlier in the desert. He recognizes it as the Spear of Destiny and realizes that the exorcism was far from ordinary. Sensing that something significant is about to happen, John cryptically predicts a major event on the horizon. After leaving the exorcism scene, Chaz drives John back home. Meanwhile, police detective Angela Dodson visits a priest to confess a troubling truth. She reveals that she has killed several criminals and is becoming increasingly disturbed by how natural it feels for her. Angela seems to possess an uncanny ability to locate these dangerous individuals and know precisely when to take action against them. She confides in the priest, questioning if there is something wrong with her. In response, the priest suggests that God has a plan for her. Back at home, Angela has a dream where she wakes up in a hospital bed. A mysterious whisper calls out the name Isabel. She follows the whisper and finds herself on the hospital roof, eventually leaping off and falling through a glass roof into a pool of water. Upon waking, Angela is left breathless in her own bed. The next day, John Constantine goes for a lung x-ray and receives devastating news from the doctor. He has terminal lung cancer and not much time left to live. Meanwhile, Angela investigates a suicide case at a hospital where she discovers the deceased woman, Isabel, who bears a striking resemblance to her. Angela is shocked as deceased is actually her twin sister, admitted to the hospital as a mental patient. Despite the claim that Isabel committed suicide, Angela is certain it's not true. Later, John's friend, Beeman, arrives at John's apartment with various items and equipment. Beeman brings bullet shavings from an assassination attempt on the Pope, holy water from the River Jordan, and a screech beetle known for repelling demons. He eagerly asks John about the new assignment, and John tells him about the recent exorcism. John mentions witnessing a demon soldier attempting to cross over from the girl's body into the human realm. Beeman is surprised by this information, as demons are only supposed to control and possess humans but never fully enter the physical realm. John asks Beeman to research this phenomenon for further insight. Later, John and Chaz visit a church where Angela is also present. While Angela speaks with a priest, John approaches a character named Gabriel, whom he recognizes as a half-breed due to the dark wings. Gabriel is aware of why John has come and explains that angels continue to monitor the most wayward souls. Angela pleads with the priest to grant her sister Isabel a Catholic funeral, but the request is denied due to Isabel's suicide, which is considered a mortal sin. The bishop has decided against a Catholic burial. Despite Angela's attempts to reason with the priest, he insists there's nothing he can do to grant her sister Isabel a Catholic funeral. Meanwhile, John discusses the influx of soul travel in the mortal realm with Gabriel and asks if God can extend his life. However, Gabriel dismisses John's aspirations to enter heaven, claiming that banishing demons alone is not enough. Gabriel emphasizes that self-sacrifice and genuine belief are the keys to earning a place in heaven. John argues that he has made sacrifices and does believe in God, but Gabriel counters that John lacks true faith in the Almighty. In the meantime, Father Hennessy reads news articles about Isabel's suicide, using his unique ability to hear information when touching newspapers. Angela reviews footage of her sister's death, muttering her John Constantine, and recognizes John Constantine as the man from the church whom Isabel mentioned before her suicide. Later, while John was smoking, he encounters a demon covered in insects that attacks him. John tries to defend himself using the screeching beetle Beeman gave him, and the demon gets hit by a passing van. Afterward, John meets with Jaws, and they head to Midnight's nightclub. Inside the nightclub, John observes peaceful interactions between half-breeds, beings of mixed angelic and demonic heritage. John goes to the back room, where he meets Papa Midnight, a holy man who remains neutral between heaven and hell. John informs Midnight about the demon attack he experienced earlier, but Midnight states that demons cannot cross over to the human realm, as it violates the balance agreed upon by both sides. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Balthazar, a demon half-breed who addresses John while playing with a coin. John becomes offended and threatens to exorcise Balthazar back to hell. Midnight intervenes, warning against hostilities inside the nightclub. Later, Angela seeks John's help again, believing her sister Isabel was murdered and brainwashed into committing suicide. Angela is convinced that Isabel, a devout Catholic, would never have taken her own life. John initially refuses to assist, but when he sees shadows pursuing Angela from his window, he decides to pursue the case as it may be connected to the ongoing events in heaven and hell. John shares with Angela the existence of heaven and hell, explaining that it differs from the conventional beliefs most people hold. Angela dismisses the idea, asserting that people are inherently evil without any external motivation. John acknowledges her perspective but suggests that humans are capable of both good and evil, sometimes influenced by external forces from either side. Suddenly, the lights go out, and they find themselves surrounded by unseen beings. John lights a piece of cloth, creating a fire that exposes and kills the demons lurking in the darkness. Angela is horrified by the revelation and vomits from the shock. John proposes that the demons might be after Angela rather than him. He suggests journeying into hell to find Isabel's soul and determine if she committed suicide. Back at Angela's apartment, John prepares a basin of water, suspends his feet in it, and instructs Angela to leave. He connects with Isabel's soul through her cat's eyes, allowing him to enter hell. In the fiery landscape of hell, John encounters Isabel while he is being chased by demons. As she falls from a building, John catches her medical tag, which transports him back to Isabel's apartment. He informs Angela that Isabel did indeed commit suicide and hands her the medical tag as proof. Meanwhile, Father Hennessy investigates Isabel's corpse at the morgue and experiences a terrifying encounter with a symbol on her wrist, manipulated by Balthazar. Hennessy tragically succumbs to a deadly drinking binge. John reveals to Angela that as a child, he witnessed demons and other malevolent entities. His parents had him treated, but the situation worsened, leading him to attempt suicide. During the brief time he was dead, he experienced what felt like a lifetime in hell. When he returned to life, he realized the reality of both heaven and hell existing simultaneously on earth but in different planes of reality. Half-breeds like Gabriel and Balthazar were created to exert control over humans. John's revelations leave Angela grappling with a newfound understanding of the supernatural and the complex realities that coexist with the human world. John explains to Angela that certain entities can influence humans by giving them whispers. These whispers can either provide bursts of courage or inflict excruciating fear and dread. Upon receiving news of Father Hennessy's death, John and Angela rush to the scene. John notices a bloody mark on Hennessy's palm, which is the same symbol he had seen on Isabel. He takes the symbol and asks Beeman to research its significance. In Isabel's room, John believes that she might have left a clue for Angela, given the strong connection between twins. Angela recalls how they used to leave each other secret messages as kids. Breathing on a foggy window, she reveals a message that reads Corinthians 17. Beeman communicates with them through the phone and explains that the reference they should look into is the Bible from hell. In this version, Corinthians 17 speaks of a son of the devil, Mammon, who will bring everlasting darkness upon humanity when unleashed. The symbol on Isabel's wrist is the sign of Mammon, and the Hell Bible reveals that Mammon aims to build his kingdom of hell, surpassing even Satan's. To achieve this, Mammon must possess a powerful psychic and be brought into the world by a divine being. Just as Beeman is about to continue, he senses that something is coming for him and we see insects coming out of his eyes. They reach Beeman's house and see him dead with insects crawling all over him. In the aftermath of Beeman's tragic death, John and Angela are devastated by the loss of their friend. Meanwhile, we see the man carrying the Spear of Destiny makes a getaway with the artifact, driving towards Los Angeles after hijacking a car. Angela finally confesses that she also had visions of demons when she was younger but chose to deny them as she grew older. She feels guilty for not being there for Isabel during her struggles with mental illness. Desiring to experience hell first and then find her sister, Angela and John decide on a dangerous plan. They fill a bathtub with water, and Angela submerges herself while John holds her down, initiating a near-death experience. During this journey, Angela gains insight into her psychic abilities, understanding how she knew when to take action against criminals. She quickly returns to consciousness and rushes to Beeman's office, where she finds Balthazar's coin. John heads to Balthazar's penthouse, engaging in a fierce battle with him. Armed with Holy Cross emblazoned brass knuckles, John gains the upper hand and extracts crucial information about Mammon's plan involving the Spear of Destiny. Angela arrives and, with Balthazar's taunts, realizes that she is the key to Mammon's arrival in the human realm. Balthazar is shot by John, and they discuss Mammon's scheme. However, a mysterious figure arrives and watches Balthazar's demise without intervening. Angela suddenly feels a strange sensation and is pulled away through concrete walls, leaving John frantically chasing after her. John forcibly enters Midnight's room, desperate to use a mysterious chair that might hold the key to their next steps in rescuing Angela and thwarting Mammon's plans. The situation becomes increasingly dire as they race against time to save Angela and prevent the son of the devil from unleashing everlasting darkness upon humanity. In a desperate attempt to stop Mammon's rise, John and Midnight prepare a wooden chair used for electric capital punishment. John sees the man carrying the spear and witnesses his journey, realizing he's heading to the hospital. At the hospital, demons gather, awaiting Mammon's arrival. Angela shoots the man carrying the spear, but it has no effect. John and Chaz arrive at the hospital, and Chaz blesses the water reservoir, turning it into holy water. John faces the half-breed demons, using holy water to wash off their outer skin and make them vulnerable. He dispatches them one by one, while Chaz helps and blesses the sprinkler system, raining holy water on the demons. Meanwhile, Angela is drowned by the man carrying the spear, sending her to hell. In hell, Mammon possesses Angela, and John rushes in to exorcise the demon. They struggle, but with Chaz's help, John manages to seemingly free Angela from Mammon's influence. However, Mammon starts to claw its way out of Angela's stomach. Chaz was attacked by the demon, smashing him repeatedly throughout the room, leading to his tragic demise. As John attempts to use a divine symbol to contain Mammon, Gabriel intervenes. Gabriel reveals his plan to unleash Mammon, believing that his rise will separate the worthy from the complacent humans who are not worthy to live. As Gabriel is about to cut open Angela with the Spear of Destiny, John calls on God's help but is overpowered. In his final moments, John takes a piece of glass and slits his wrists, hoping to summon God's intervention. Time stops, and Lucifer, the devil, appears before John. John informs Lucifer about Gabriel's plan, initially refusing to believe, but later Lucifer decides to investigate on his own. In a dramatic turn of events, Lucifer enters the room and saves Angela from Gabriel's attack with the spear. Time resumes, and Gabriel is confronted by Lucifer, who reveals that God has abandoned him. Lucifer banishes Mammon back to hell and burns Gabriel's wings off, taking away his divine status. Lucifer returns to John, prepared to take him to hell, but first asks him what he wants in return for helping expose Gabriel's plan. John makes a selfless request. Instead of asking for an extension of his life, John requests that Isabel's soul be sent to heaven. In a surprising gesture, Lucifer agrees and sends Isabel to heaven. As Lucifer tries to drag John to hell, he becomes immovable, and the kingdom of heaven opens up to accept him. John's selfless sacrifice has proven his worthiness, and God accepts him. Lucifer, angered by this turn of events, tries to hurt John. He removes his lung cancer, allowing him to continue living, telling him that he will continue to live and prove that he belongs in hell, not heaven. At that time he will claim his soul. John wakes up fully healed and finds Angela awake as well. They see Gabriel in the pool, now turned human. Gabriel provokes John to seek revenge, offering him a shotgun. However, John chooses to punch Gabriel instead, inflicting pain upon the fallen angel. John and Angela then head to the roof, where John gives her the Spear of Destiny for safekeeping. They part ways, promising to meet again in the future. John reflects on his experiences and realizes that God indeed has a plan for him. The journey has been filled with challenges, sacrifices, and redemption, shaping him into a more compassionate and understanding person. With a newfound sense of purpose, John continues to navigate the complex world of heaven and hell, ready to face whatever lies ahead. That's all for today, folks. Like, share, and subscribe for more such content. Curious Knight signing off. Stay safe, stay curious.